All right, here we go. We have the black vaccine on the lens of Yashu. How are you doing today, man?
What's going on, boss? What's going on? How you feeling?
It's been dope, man. I've been checking out the project so far too, like Oh Free, like Lil Wayne. Like a
What's up?
very unique project in terms of like the cover art, like the production, the sounds, and such like that. Like, I think like one of the more viral songs that caught my attention was Quarantine Fiend, which was dropped on like All Urban Central on
Yes, sir.
YouTube and all
Sir.
that. So it
Yes,
had
sir.
like a good amount of views and all that. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We doing a little. You've been doing a little traffic. I haven't really been putting a lot of marketing behind it. But for the traffic that it did do, just for just posting it on there, that's pretty dope, man. I got a few videos on there, but it's the other ones are actually on the other name I was under when I was under a different contract. But yeah, I definitely got a few videos on there. All Urban Central, they've been rocking with me for a while.
Yeah, man. It's pretty dope so far. And like, the project, it's like unique in its own way. Like I liked the production of a lot of the tracks. I liked the sound that it brought through because kind of had like more like toned out like productions and styles based
Right.
on like the synths and everything else too. And like as far like looking at like the track list, like I could say like songs like Holy, Treetop, Steppa, Freak, and like Blackbird, like those were songs that like kind of caught my attention too. And I was wondering, Quarantine Fiend on this like the one that you released, is it actually Quarantine on Oh Free Lil Wayne, or is it a mix between Quarantine and like Freak in that sense?
What you mean? What you mean? Like, yeah, elaborate a little bit better on that as far
Like
as what you mean.
you have the Quarantine Fiend like song on All Urban Central.
Right.
So was it meant to be on this project too, or like was it like under like a different name in that sense?
Oh yeah, no, it was meant. It was definitely meant to be on the project. That was actually the first one that I recorded, and produced for the project. So yeah, that was like the first one because that's kind of uh showing the mindset and the energy that I'm in. Like with the hook, it can go both ways. I know it's relatable to what's going on. Quarantine fiend. I've been inside for a minute. Now it's mask off with everybody wearing masks and all that. But for me, it was like I've been inside for a minute, saying like I've been in the studio. I've been, what I'm saying, in grind mode for a minute. Now it's time for me to take the mask off and you feel me and go crazy. So that's really like the whole concept behind the whole 3 Lil Wayne mixtape as well. So yeah, that definitely was perfect, purposeful for the take for sure, for sure.
Yeah, man. I just want to start off first for this interview. So you grew up in Memphis, and what was like like where did you grow up like in Memphis, and what was like the environment like for you in terms of like, growing up? Would you
Right.
say like it was a good childhood back then, or would it be like a very different aspect?
Man, I grew up in Memphis. I didn't grow up in Memphis my whole life. I grew up in Memphis till I was like 14, and then I went to Atlanta. But as far as like Memphis, man, Memphis is Memphis. It's just really, if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a beautiful city, but at the same time, it got its darkness as well. So it's kind of like it was like, you know, 50-50 thing for me. I got to see both sides of it. You know what I'm saying? Like not even just being raised here just for the whole point of when I was coming back. Even when I went to Atlanta around 14, we was always back to the city, back and forth. You know what I'm saying? Every few months or every summer, but definitely like every year and every 3 or 4 months we were back in the city. So it was like I definitely got a chance to witness it all. From the darkness to the light. And that's the thing too. Like with Memphis, a lot of people when they speak on the city, they only speak on the darkness. And a lot of people don't speak on the light. So, and it keeps a lot of people not wanting to come to the city. But it is a lot of great things in Memphis, as far as like people, as far as like music and different type of business and just different type of cultures. Memphis really influenced a lot of stuff in other cities that a lot of people may not even know about, especially with the music now and with the different type of flows that people use and like the Migo flows and all that. Like Memphis, whether people want to accept it or admit it, Memphis really influenced a lot of that, but yeah, it was definitely a lot of light, for Memphis for me. And then Atlanta, when I went to Atlanta, I grew up on the South Side. it was the same thing. Light and darkness. I say Atlanta is a little more, a little more, let me see, I guess you could say a little more quote unquote safe than Memphis. But for me, like, it was still darkness because I always been a hothead. You know what I'm saying? Like I always been in trouble. I stayed in trouble. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna be honest. Like I stayed in trouble, man. I could never stay in the school. Every school that I went to, ever since my like 6th, 7th grade, I got kicked out. So it's like I just stayed in trouble. You feel me? But that was just me being young, and I'm glad that I did do everything that I did. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you feel me? Like, so yeah, definitely it was light and darkness, man.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean too. And, just like in terms of the music and, just getting on to like the certain scene. So I'm going to assume you're like a 90s baby, like, right?
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So like during that time, growing up, like when living in Memphis, you've listened to like a lot of like Free Six and like La Chad and like Juicy
Yeah,
J and Yo Gotti
yeah,
at the time too. And then
yeah.
when you moved to like Atlanta, like I guess like maybe it's like the mid 2000s, late 2000s. So it
Right.
was kind of like that whole like Snap era, like
Yep. You
Gucci,
mind. Yep.
Waka, all that
Yep.
type of
Right
stuff too.
around. Yep. The Gucci, the Walkers, the franchise boys, right around their area, the Fabos and stuff. That's like I remember hearing those songs for the first time, and we like, what the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
see the whole family. We like, what the hell is this right here? You know? Yep. You hit that right on the money. That's exactly what it was, bro. It was definitely a shift in the sound and the music for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, man. And I guess like Atlanta is like the place that you decided to take more like in the music scene like once you moved in there. Like was there like any influences like when you moved to Atlanta that made you want to pursue more in the music scene like in the South and all that, since Atlanta and Memphis are like connected within the South?
Well, I wouldn't just say it was because of Atlanta, because I've been doing music since I was like 10 or 11. You know what I'm saying? So I started a few years before I even moved to Atlanta. A lot of my influence came from my sisters. I got 3 sisters, mainly 2 sisters, but I got 3 sisters that do the music. And the oldest 2, they were working with Willie Mitchell. I think he was Drake uncle or Drake cousin, one of them, but they was working with Willie Mitchell. He passed away, rest in peace. But they was working with him, and I got to see them make music and do concerts and performances, and that's really why I felt like these my sisters. I like music, so I'm like they can do it. I know I can do it, you know. So it just really started with them. But when I went to Atlanta, it was more so just music, period. Because I'm the type of person I'm not really affected by my environment. You see what I'm saying? Just because I was raised up in Memphis don't mean I only listen to a certain type of music. Just because I was in Atlanta don't mean I was just listening to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was just music itself that really inspired me, man. Cause like my pops growing up, he listened to everything from blues to the most gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Easy E, the last Mr. Biggs. You know what I'm saying? So it was definitely just music itself that inspired me.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I definitely know what you mean too, and it's an interesting like list to even like think about too. And I know that you talked a lot about like how you got into music from like playing the piano and then being introduced like your first guitar like at around like a young age too. But in terms of like taking it like to a bigger like level, what inspired you to become like a rapper, a guitarist, like and an artist as well?
Well, as far as like the guitar, now I didn't what you call I didn't get introduced to the guitar at a young age. I only been playing the guitar for 10 months, bro. Like,
Oh.
yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. I only been playing the guitar for 10 months, but that's not to say that the guitar hasn't always been something that attracted me. You feel me? Because like I said, my pops grew up on blues. My pops, not he grew up on blues, but my pops raised me on blues and different sounds. Rick James, Prince. You know what I'm saying? Like some of the greatest guitar players ever. So that guitar always stuck out with me. And then when you go back to the music, as far as when you go back to Memphis music scene, they always had that in you know what I'm saying in their music. If you listen to Player Fly, you hear the guitar, you hear the blues. If you listen to 3-6, you hear the guitar, you hear the blues. Listen to 8 Ball and MJG, the same thing. You'll hear the guitar, you hear the blues. So it was always something that stuck with me. You know what I'm saying? But like a year ago, I just decided I just felt like it was something that I needed to add to just make me really stand out. You know, I always felt like I was a dope lyricist. I always felt like I was a dope songwriter, but there's a lot of dope lyricists, there's a lot of dope songwriters. You know what I mean? So I'm like, what is it that some people may not do? And I say I'm the only one who do it, but it's like it's a small handful of people who can actually really quote unquote rap, who can really write songs and really play the guitar, even though I still got a long way to go. But I just knew that's what I needed to do, pick up a guitar. And when I picked it up and I strummed it for the first time in the guitar store, I said, yeah, this is it right here. So I took it home and I've been on it ever since, man.
Yeah, no doubt. No, it's pretty interesting too. So I guess that's like usually like your instrument of choice, like when deciding to like make a song and all that, or just even like trying like different sounds too. Because I know like with many artists, they want to like go to like different genres. You know, sometimes have a blend of like rap and rock, or rock and R&B, all that type of stuff too. So
yeah, most definitely. I like with that guitar, it's like an advantage. So I can take it anywhere. We can go pop, we can go country, we can go blues, we can go rap, we can go R&B, we can go every country, every person on this earth, no matter what their culture are, what their culture is. I guarantee you, their guitar is played somewhere in their music. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I really got an advantage with it, and at the same time, like I said, I also got a big advantage because I like those types of music. I like different types of music. So it's not like I'm doing something or I'm forced to do this music. Like if you listen to certain artists, you could tell when their label get in their ear. You know what I'm saying? You could tell when a feature was a business move. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's both, but it's more so coming from the inside first. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do nothing. Like even when people send me features, if I ain't feeling it, I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like I ain't gonna waste nobody's time and just say, yeah, you can pay me and do it. It's like we can do something, but let's pick something else that I'm really feeling. You know, it's definitely about the craft for me first, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know, I can definitely agree that the guitar is like usually played like everywhere. And there's like even like different like instruments, you know, for the guitar too, because it's like a stringed instrument too. So, you know, in other parts of the world, like in India and like Pakistan, you have the sitar, which is like similar to a guitar, but like, you know, more of a two-stringed instrument too. And, you know, they don't really have like the picks and all that. And then, you know, you have the ukulele like in Hawaii and such too. And then, you know, you have your bass, which a lot of people have played the bass for a long time too. So it's just that idea of the stringed instrument that, you know, people vibe to, that gets that melody, that gets that type of sound too, because you're not gonna get it like in a piano or in anything else too.
Nothing.
Always
the guitar is the most diverse instrument there is. Like to me, it's the quote unquote best instrument it is. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you can't do multiple things with a lot of instruments, really with no instrument that I could think of. You know what I mean? Like you named the two, the ukulele and you said the other instrument in India. I couldn't never understand what you called it, but I mean they're similar, but the same. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They're almost like the same thing. So it's kind of like still in the category of a guitar. You know what I mean? So I mean, guitar is like one of a kind, man. It's one of a kind for sure, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. I know that you said like Lil Wayne like played like a role like in your music, you know, just even like off the project alone. But what other artists or genres were you like mainly like influenced by, and who would you like to collaborate with like someday, like if you had the chance?
Dope. Okay, we'll start with artists first. I mean, as far as like artists, we'll go to the rap scene. J. Cole for sure. Kendrick Lamar, Yo Gotti, Player Fly. Uh, really, I like a lot of the real music. You know what I'm saying? Like you can go back to like the Method Mans and Nas and Jay-Z. I ain't really listened too much of Nas, but like everything that I did listen to, it was like right up that alley of what I like to hear as far as like lyricism. So with me, I'm a real open-minded person. So I wouldn't say this is my favorite artist. I won't listen to this person because, you know what I mean, that was beef or whatever. It's a lot of weird stuff that people do nowadays, but it's like I ain't know none of that. Like I'm here for the music, you know, and as far as the genres, definitely blues, country, rock here. Now I can't really get into the real heavy metal rock. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been around a couple white boys, they listen to like the real heavy metal rock. It's like I feel you, but I can't really feel it. You know what I'm saying? I'm more into rhythm. You know what I mean? You got a lot of country songs that got rhythm, blues got rhythm, pop got rhythm. You know what I mean? Of course, R&B. Of course, I'm into R&B. But yeah, man, I just like music. Period. You know, to me, it's just really about the sound and the feeling I get from it. If I'm feeling it, man, play it again. You know what I'm saying? That's just really how I feel. I don't care if it's in a different language. If I can feel what they're trying to say, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of songs you don't have to even say a word on, and we can feel where you're going with it. You know what I mean? So if I can feel the music and the instruments first and foremost, then yeah, I'm locked in with it.
Yeah, no doubt. And just to speak on like Oh Free Wayne too, like I think that's your first project that you released, like independently. Would that be
Right.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And yeah, you talked a lot about like the inspiration for that project too, like on Audio Mac, as well as like what you discussed like during the interview too. But what was like the creative process like when making that project?
The creative process was for me to tap out and say, I don't care what nobody want to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like that's been my problem. That's really been my problem. I get so stuck in trying to do something and I listen, I be like, they don't want to hear this. This don't sound like this. This not, you know. So with this project, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do me, you know, because at the end of the day, I know good music. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I feel. Like I know what sounds good. That's why I can listen to all different type of genres because I know a good song when I see it. That's why I can write all different type of genres because I know a good song when I hear it. I mean, and so with the process, it was just like, man, let me lock in. Like I was saying, like with the quarantine, go inside. I had to just go inside. That was leading to the guitar. Like I had to go inside myself and find like what really, who really, you know what I'm saying? Who are you really? And once I grabbed that guitar, it was like, it pulled out something just beyond because the melodies and the voices, because like the guitar is a voice itself. So it's like the melodies and stuff that I'm able to create before I even say a word with the guitar is kind of like an advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like it really put the icing on the cake as far as building the whole song. Like Blackbird, for example, it's like everything on there was like, you see what I'm saying? Like from the melody to the hook, all of it was just like it merged together to make one piece in one song. It's like ain't no clashing with the hi-hats or no clashing with the guitar and the vocals. You see what I'm saying? So it was just really, like I said, just tapping in and saying, I'm not worried about the world right now. I'm finna give them what I got. I'm finna show them, you know what I'm saying, that I'm hungry. Like that was really the main part was I gotta show them that like this, I ain't playing no games. You feel me? Like I said, mask off. Just mask off when I kill them. Like you gotta be real angry at a person and go to them and kill them barefaced. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be proving a point. You know what I mean? So for me, that's how I'm feeling. It's like bar none. You know what I mean? That's the whole. This what I was thinking the whole time I was creating this mixtape. Bar none. Like fuck who doing what. Bar none. Just come out with it and do you, man. Like for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think like what's interesting was like the cover art too for Oh Free Wayne, because
Right.
I think that was like one of the photos from the Carter one, in which I think he released like that year too. So like it was kind of like parallel to what you posed as well to like the cover art too. So
Yeah.
why the Carter one cover art for the main pick for Oh Free Lil Wayne?
For sure. Because that's when Wayne was feeling like how I'm feeling right now. And you can hear it in every word he said, and literally in every word that Lil Wayne said, and still to this day you can still hear it, even though he done laid back a little bit more because he done put his time in. But back then he had a point to prove. When you heard the Carter, you knew, okay, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, Lil Wayne finna be one of the best rappers alive. You see what I'm saying? So that's just the same mindset that I was in. You go back to the mindset that I was in when I was making this project. And the whole point of me naming it Oh Through Lil Wayne is to mirror that same mindset that Lil Wayne was in. You feel me? Because I'm a big Wayne fan, so I could hear back then, even though he still got the bars. But now, like I said, he done laid back. Back then, you could hear the hunger, you could hear the aggression, the determination, the ambition in every word he said. And that tape I mean, not the tape, that the album cover was just perfect. And then it was kind of like weird at the same time, because when I looked at it, I was like, damn, bro, we almost looking like
Yeah.
I was like, damn, bro, we almost
Yeah.
looking like I was like, yo, this album, this mixtape is destined. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit couldn't get no more perfect. Like that picture was perfect. I couldn't have chose no other cover for this album, bro. I'm trying to tell you, like, it was perfect. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it was definitely just the perfect time, and at the same time, it was just like trying to mimic a mindset. And that was just like the perfect picture of Lil Wayne back then in '03.
Yeah, nah, I definitely know what you mean, man. And just to even talk about like Wayne too, like I think Wayne, I think last year he dropped I think the dedication series too. I think that would be like 7 or 8. I'd have to like find out
Right.
like later on too. And then just recently he dropped Trust Fund Babies with like Rich the Kid.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And just to even speak on Wayne for a bit too. So how would you define his status in the impact of like Black culture and in the culture of like music like today?
Man, as far as Black culture, I feel like Wayne helped a lot of people just get through what they were going through. You know what I mean? I feel like Wayne back then was the Black vaccine. So that should tell you what I'm trying to go with, what I got going on. You get what I'm saying? Wayne back then was the Black vaccine for me and for everybody who was like me, that I know for sure who used to listen to Wayne. Because it don't matter what mood you in, Wayne got something for you. You see what I'm saying? So he definitely had a positive effect on the Black culture. And as far as the music, it's like, come on, man. You know what image, what effect he had on the music, especially nowadays, because from the tattoos to the swag to the piercings to the auto-tune to the persona, it's all Wayne. And nobody can be Wayne, but I feel like every artist, 25 and under, even some of them 30 and under, got some Lil Wayne in them. See what I'm saying? A lot of people won't admit it, but at the end of the day, Wayne, he influenced, I feel like 90% of the game that came after him. You feel me? Like, if you came into the game, I know you listened to at least one Lil Wayne song. I know you probably changed your style just a little bit to try to be like Lil Wayne. I know that you wrote a little different to try to be like Lil Wayne, because Wayne was the one who really started a different type of metaphors. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he was like, he'd be like, I'm up biscuits. You know what I'm saying? Like, taking the like out. You know how people used to be like some like some. Like, he was one of the first ones to take the word like and as and all that stuff out and make different type of metaphors. And a lot of people, copying that style. So I feel like Wayne influenced way more than me. You know what I'm saying? In a whole lot of different genres as well. Wayne's just a superstar, man. Real talk.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree in that sense too. Like, I think with Wayne, like, he had an entire decade and then half a decade to actually be certified within like a top 5 position too, because when we talk about like from the start of his career up until his run in like 2015 too, we could talk about like how he had like the 2000s to 2010s and then early 2010s too. Like, he was forever like a top 5 artist in that sense too, because when you think about like your top 5 in that sense too, like musically, like Lil Wayne, like he would be around your top 5 or your top 10, like around like 2000 to 2005 with the Block Assad, with his song with Juvenile 2, 5,000 Degrees and all that too, and then a whole lot of other stuff too. Carter 1, Carter 2, and then
Carter 3,
2005 to like
crazy album.
Yeah. 2005 to like 2010. He had Something Like My Daddy, Carter Free, the Drought series 2, like a whole lot of like other stuff that we can even speak on, and then even Rebirth, even though it was like his lowest album at that point too. I think every Lil Wayne fan can agree that Rebirth was not the best Wayne project, but he came back in the early 2010s with like No Ceilings, with Dedication 5, Carter 4, like was played everywhere. Like How to Love was like basically like one of the biggest songs throughout like 2011, 2012, and then 2013 he had a successful run with you know, I'm Not a Human Being too and all that. And then I think during the time when, you know, he was having, you know, his contract issues with like Stunna for a bit too, that was at the point too when his run kind of stopped for a bit too, because, you know, like no one was really checking for Wayne like between 2015 to like now in that sense too, unless, you know, you're a gradual like listener in that sense. But I could definitely say that his like legacy, his style, and even like what he put through like lyrically with his mixtapes, with his albums, like he's forever solidified in a top 5 or top 10 position, you know. So
forever. Yes, sir. He'll always be around. Like I said, you can always see Wayne or hear a part of Wayne in every artist, or majority, 90% of the artists that came out after him, like for sure, for sure.
Yeah. And you know, it's even crazy to say too, like people thought Master P was actually gonna continue on with his legacy, you know, like during the start, like in the like late 90s, if we're talking like Louisiana rappers. But Wayne had a crazier impact, you know, in the early 2000s. And, you know, like I think Cash Money, like at that time too, wanted to put like Juvenile, or like I think BG at a hotter place too. But it was Wayne that caught the attention from many people too, which led on for him to be successful like in all aspects too. Like Master P only like led his run maybe in the late 90s to early 2000s, but you know, Wayne kept going in that sense too, and it got bigger and bigger with what he put through, like with his label, with his endorsements, with his branding. Like it's forever solidified in Wayne.
Bro. That's let you know that at the end of the day, it's always gonna be about the skill. It's gonna matter, even though, you know, a lot of the mainstream music may make people think it's not the talent doesn't matter anymore. It definitely still matters. Like, believe me, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that's longevity right there. You know, who can keep reinventing themselves, who can keep getting better. And Wayne only kept getting better. That was the thing. Wayne only kept getting better. Just when you thought you heard the hardest bar you'd have never heard from Lil Wayne, he dropped another mixtape. And you're like, oh God. Then he do it again. Then he do it again. Then he do almost 1,000 features in 1 year. Like, come on, bro. How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like how is this possible? You know? That's just Wayne, man. He always gonna be a one of a kind, man. One and only.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, to speak on like projects and mixtapes, what are your top 5 Wayne projects or mixtapes of like all time in that sense?
Top 5, most definitely. We gotta go. My number 1 album from Wayne will be Carter 3. It was just something about that album. Like, I remember being in my room performing every song off of that album like I was Lil Wayne, bro. Like I was in concert. I swear to God, like it was just something about the album. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just, to me, one of his greatest albums. Then my next would be The Drought. The whole Drought series. Drought 3 was really kind of the one of the tops for me, like with The Sky's the Limit and all that. Like, The Sky's the Limit, one of my favorite songs from Lil Wayne, you know, so Drought 3 gotta definitely be number 2. And then after that, we got the Dedication series. I just gotta say the Dedication series, period. Because it was just like, it just kept getting better and better. Like you said, he just recently released another one. So yeah, definitely the Dedication series. I Am Not a Human Being. I put that on there too, because on that one, it was, once again, it was Wayne tapping into a whole different type of style. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was in a whole different type of era of his own right then. He was on the Martian mode. That was the Martian era Wayne, you feel me? So I definitely got to say that. Let me see what else we got. The Carter, I got to put the Carter on there. Got to definitely put the Carter on there, because that's when he was real hungry. Like, I feel like he started changing as it went to the Carter 2. But like the Carter 1, Carter 2, was really when you could tell Wayne was mainstream, but he was still underground at the same time, as far as like the bars and the delivery. And then Carter 3 came around. I already put that on the top, but when Carter 3 came around, was more kind of mainstream as far as the song. So yeah, definitely. So we got Carter 3, we got the Drought 3, we got Dedication series, we got the Carter. Number 5. What I want to do for number 5? Let me see what number 5 Wayne project. Ooh wee. I get to the Carter 2. I get to the Carter 2. I rock with the Carter 2. The Money on My Mind, and what is it? The hustler music, all that. Oh yeah, I definitely rock. Yeah, I rock with that. So those my top 5 right there for sure. I know I probably missed some because Wayne done dropped so many projects. Like even with Squad Up, You know what I'm saying? Like, dude dropped so many mixtapes that a lot of Wayne fans probably ain't never heard. You feel me? Like, you can listen to Wayne forever. It's so many songs that this man don't put out, I swear to God. You be like, I didn't even know Wayne did this. You feel me? Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, no doubt. I think for me too, I've been like a crazy like Wayne fan, like maybe between like 2015 to like 2017, like just straight up like listening to him in that sense too. So in terms of what I liked, you know, lyrically as well as like sound wise and what solidified, I'd say number one for me personally would be the Carter 2. Mainly because like it had like a lot of like personal favorite tracks too, and you see like a lot of like hard hitting tracks that come through within different subject matters, and you know even the change in production too. So you could have like hustler music, you could have Money on My Mind, Shooter with him and Robin Thicke too.
Oh yeah,
that was like that was the craziest track of all time, and it was just like it was something that was different from what Wayne did like in the past too, because before it was more hyperactive, more fun like tracks too, but then Shooter was like so relaxed and so soothing. Like, you know, you have to
like I said, he was gradually going into the like quote unquote mainstream. He was gradually becoming a superstar.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, if you want to be a superstar, you're gonna have to make that type of music, man.
Yeah. Even like Fireman too. Fireman's like still like a very hyped up song.
Yes, sir.
Number two would be Carter 3, you know, mainly because of the classical like tracks and hard hitting bangers like here and there too. So you always have to put like Carter 3 like very high too.
You got to. I had to put it number one.
For me, it's a tie between Dedication 1 and Dedication 2. Mainly since I haven't like listened to the Drought series yet, so my mind would change up.
I'm telling you, bro, you gotta listen to go back to the Drought. Then listen to this Drought 2. And when you get to the Drought 3, you ain't gonna want to listen to nothing. I'm trying to tell you. I think Drought 3 one of the hardest mixtape he dropped.
Yeah, but like Dedication 1 and 2 for me, like those were like both classics, like, you know, music wise too. That's like the introduction to DJ Drama's like career as like a mixtape DJ.
And freestyle.
Yeah. And like, you know, just like nice tunes that like turned into like classics later on too. And then as far as number 4, actually, I would say, I think the Carter 1, actually. I think Carter 1, it had some dope tracks. Actually, let me switch that. The Carter 4 like would be like number 4 for me, mainly because I grew up around like listening to the Carter 4, you know, like, you know, How to Love was like maybe like one of the biggest tracks like listened to.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. And like there was like around that time too, like when the Carter 4 dropped, you know, it was at the same time I was like starting in high school and all that, you know. Like, you know, before like grade like I'd say, you know, around grade 10, like around that time too, that's when like the Carter 4 like was sort of like released too, and like there was like tracks like John, you know, I got a chopper like in the whip and all that. I think I got a chopper in the car. Like that was like the most used line like everyone used in that sense too. Like load up the choppers, like it's December 21st or something like that. Like it was crazy. And yeah, just a lot of like bangers like here and there too, like She Will with Drake. His Jay-Z diss like that he had too, and like How to Hate as well too. Like that was, he had like How to Love and How to Hate, which kind of paralleled like together like in that sense too. But it was interesting to hear like the differences like in between those songs too. But like I'd say like, you know, it was like a personal favorite of mine like throughout 2011 to like now. Like even like How to Love is still being played around the world. Like I think that project for me is like very like timeless in that sense too. So that's why. And then then I think number 5 for me would be Carter 1. Mainly because like it was like a straight up classic too. I would have put it higher, but then like Carter 4 like only like opened up for me to listen to Wayne more, and then but even with Go DJ, I Miss My Dogs.
So you like more the underground, you like more the like the mainstream real song type one. See, I like the underground rapping Wayne. You know what I'm saying? I love melodies and all that too. Don't get me wrong, but I like to hear Wayne rap. You know what I'm saying? It's a different Wayne then because he don't have no airspace to fill in with melodies. He got to put a bar there. You feel me? But I definitely respect your top 5 though for sure. We got the same joints. There's a different line though, but yeah, most definitely.
No doubt, man. Yo, to speak more on your milestones for a bit too.
Right.
How did you feel like when you received like many accolades, such as like having your like the number 4 single on urban radio charts, number 1 on internet like radio charts, and landing like in Double XL and like the Source during those times? Do you feel like it solidified your stance in the industry in that sense?
Ah man, so that's a hard question. I mean, back then, how I felt then, it was like, damn, yeah, is this what's up? But now that I look back at it, it's like, you know, it's all right. I mean, I went when no money getting put in my pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a whole lot of. It was kind of like an illusion to me. You feel me? Like I kind of got lost in that instead of just really seeing what it's really about. You know what I mean? It's about the craft, but at the same time, it's like we in it for the bread, we in it for the business, you know? So, I mean, I was 19 when that happened. So, I mean, it felt good. I thought I was on top of the world almost, you know, because everybody around me that I grew up around, ain't nobody on the radio, ain't nobody in the Source magazine, nobody in Double XL magazine. So I was on a pedestal, you know what I mean? But like I said, now that I look back at it, it's kind of like, that kind of, I mean, the stats matter, but at the end of the day, to me, it really don't matter so much when the stuff behind the scene ain't all the way in line. You see what I'm saying? So it's definitely a good thing. You know, it's definitely something that I always remember. It's definitely something that's dope to have on my resume. But now, just as I get older, I realize it's deeper than that. You know what I mean? Because you got a lot of people who on the Double XL freshman cover that's, you know what I'm saying, you ain't even heard about no more. You know what I mean? That's just how it goes. So that type of stuff, I feel like it can blind you. You know what I mean? And I kind of let it blind me. But now it's like, nah, I can see past that stuff. It's definitely a good thing, but it's all right. It ain't nothing too special.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean too. You know, just speaking about like stage name to, you know, the Black vaccine and
Right.
you know, during this time that we're in right now,
Right.
do you feel like you received any controversy like regarding your stage name in that sense?
Not really controversy, it's just a lot of, because nobody never like directly mentioned like the COVID or anything having to do with my name. It's more so, why do you call yourself that? You know what I'm saying? It's and it's really like a lot of people already get it. You see what I'm saying? Like it's self-explanatory, but some people may take it too deep. See what I'm saying? Like it don't go that deep. It go back to what I said when we were speaking on Wayne, when I said Wayne was the Black vaccine back then. So that's the same mindset on me. I just want to create great music and touch people with my music, because sometimes people ain't got nobody to talk to. Sometimes people can get lost, and when you cut on a song, it relaxes you. You feel me? Especially if the instrument's hitting a certain type of way. Because with me, the guitar is healing. You feel me? So with me, with my whole thing, the guitar is more so playing the part of the vaccine. You get what I'm saying? So the reason I really called myself the Black vaccine was after I picked up the guitar, I came up with that name, because I was like, yo, this guitar, and if I really learn how to, you know what I'm saying, I'm playing it now. This before I got good with it. I was like, if I really learn how to play this thing, I can really impact people, bro. You feel me? So I'm like, this shit is healing. You know, I was like, you know what? The Black vaccine, that's what it is. It sound kind of weird at first, but I was like, nah, this is what it is. And the more I pushed it, the more I said it, the more I stood with it, it was like, it just made sense. You know what I mean? And it makes sense. You know, so yeah, it's definitely self-explanatory, but don't go too deep with it. That's what I tell people. Yes. Don't go too deep. Yes. It ain't no Malcolm X. I ain't on no what's my boy name? Damn, what's my boy name? I forgot the dude name. But anyway, I ain't on no straight conscious rap shit. I remember that rapper now. I can't remember his name now. I cannot remember his name. You probably know I'm talking about, from New York. I forgot his name, man. Dang, I forgot his name. I don't know. But anyway, it don't get that deep. It don't get that deep. Nah, definitely don't.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean, man. So I guess, you know, the name is just more of a way of accessibility, you know, like accessibility towards like music, all that type of stuff to, you know, that entire style that, you know, you want to like bless people like with music and such.
Right, exactly. It's like I said, we need a vaccine. We need a black vaccine. And then when it comes to the word black, I'm not just talking about black people. You feel me? I'm talking about urban people. You know what I mean? Because black people can describe a whole bunch of type of people. You know what I mean? Because that's not technically black people's race. You know what I mean? Brown people are not called black people. You get what I'm saying? So with me, the word black is really just a culture thing to me. So it's white people who also gonna get the healing, who can also feel, you know what I'm saying, who can also be in need of something. A song can save a person's life, bro. You know what I mean? A song can make a person's day, bro. Like,
Yeah, no doubt. I know what you mean, man. Just to end off, you know, this interview like right here. What are your other plans for this year? You know, as it's coming to like an end soon in terms of like other music, creative projects, and like so forth. And do you have any like final words you'd like to say for any person out there pursuing their dreams?
right, dope. I mean, as far as music wise, man, I'm pushing this project. You know, I feel like a lot of people lately been coming out with projects and albums and they dropping deluxes because they don't feel confident in their first one that they drop. You know what I mean? With this, I feel like this is one of a kind. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I feel like great music gonna live on forever. Not saying that I'm not working. I'm always working. I'm always creating. But as far as like releasing more music, I'm not gonna oversaturate. You know what I mean? My lane. You feel me? I can let everybody else do what they do, but I feel like with the right marketing and with the right push, this tape can really take me to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Live on almost to like the middle of next year, kind of like summertime. You know, I'll probably drop another project around summertime because that's when the vibe's gonna change. And I'm gonna drop something that people can vibe to in the summertime. But to then I'm just trying to perfect this guitar, bro. Like I said, I only been doing this for 10 months. You feel me? I know people who've been doing it for 12 years who say they still trying to perfect it. So I know I got a long way to go. So I'm real humble when it's as far as the guitar, man. So with that, that's really my main focus. The guitar in making my beats. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the goal. That's the plan, man. And as far as anybody who's trying to do what they do and make it in this industry or any industry, be you. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry. It may seem like everybody want the same thing, but believe me, majority of the world don't want the same thing. A majority of the world is looking for something new. You see what I'm saying? And the true talent, the people who true to themselves are gonna be that new. We the new wave, man. It's time to take it to the next level. I hate when people say let's take the music back, because music ain't gonna never go back to what it was. It's time to take it to the next level. It ain't gonna completely change. It's just time to take what we got right now, as far as the style and everything. Take that, dip and dab with that, add you with it, and take it to the next level. That's all I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So stay true to yourself. If you're trying to do something, man, stay true to yourself, no matter if you reach every goal or not, no matter if you make $1 million off of it or not. If you make $100, if you don't make $1 off of it, if you love doing what you're doing, go to that. Do you be true to yourself, man? Straight up.
Yeah, no doubt. I definitely know what you mean, man.